Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good weekend. To those of you who celebrate, happy Passover. The first night of Passover was last night. And we had some friends over to help us celebrate. One of our friends actually ran it for us and did all the stuff, and we kind of sat around and drank wine. So it was a good night, not a great morning. But I think everybody who celebrates that can appreciate that. So let's get into the design portion of this, or the building portion of it anyway. So I'm gonna do build with instructions, and of course my build camera doesn't work. This camera is just not doing well. So my window capture is going to be this. We're going to try to do some Microfighter building, but it's also going to take, and I don't have my lights on because I kind of need them to be out of the way because there's going to be a lot of walking back and forth. So what I was initially going to do was have everything turned around on my build table over here so I could just walk back and forth. Didn't get to that in time. It would have been a lot of work to try to turn it around, have the keyboard there, have both monitors so I could see what the build was, so I could see the prism. So it's just going to be me getting up and walking, getting pieces, unfortunately. But we'll start out by two things. I want to show you something. Very excited about this. So this is a piece of the Megaspark setup that I got from a place called PV Productions out of the Netherlands. If you've worked with Lego Power Up before and you don't want to worry about the batteries, this was a piece that was basically 3D printed, probably with some metal leads in it, so you can insert it into the battery box, and then it's got a USB connector so you can plug it into a brick, and it works great. I tested it out the other day. The problem is I need a USB extension cord. Let's see if this comes off. Yeah, there we go. So this is all it is. It is just a it's got its brand on it, so it's got its brand printed in there, PV Productions, and it's got its electric leads in there, and those electric leads then feed out to this USB cable, and you can see the leads, the battery leads in there. So all you're doing is marrying those two up, right? And this whole thing, then you just cover it up and you don't have to put the battery box in there. So A, it's lighter, but most importantly, you don't have to come up with 6 batteries every time you need to replace the which means taking it out of the build if you got it buried inside your build, which I had it built in a way that I could access it pretty easily once I needed it to be replaced. But with a constant, if you're at a con and it's constantly running, I didn't test how long the batteries would have lasted, and now I don't need to. So this will run out of the bottom. I've rebuilt a section of it, of the lighthouse, so it goes into the mills plating and underneath, and now I just need to get a USB extension, which I thought I had, and then run it underneath, and it should be good. So yeah, this was about 25 bucks. And with shipping, another 12 bucks. So close to $40 for this piece. But considering I won't then have to buy probably about $40 or $50 worth of batteries, it's totally worth it. And then if I want to take the piece to different shows during the course of the year, I think this works. I think this is a great solution, and I'm very excited about it. The downside is I still have to run the app with an iPhone plugged into a battery pack, and I need to do like an in-world test to find out how long that lasts, because I may also need to run another charging cable for the phone so it doesn't die, because I don't know how long the battery. I'll have 2 battery packs, and I've got those built in so I can hide them, the phone at least, in the setup, so it's close to the hub. But I haven't run it all day, like let it run all day and see how long it goes. So I may set it up this weekend to do that, or this week, and see how it goes. But see, now it's replaced this whole, like, I don't need to put this back in there. So this worked out great. Very excited. It's again, it's PV Productions, not a sponsor of this at all. Just, you know, good product. So yeah, I'll hold this up so you can see PV Productions. If I hold that up long enough, you may be able to get the QR code off of it. If it focuses, it may not focus. Cool. Thanks, camera. This camera's having a problem. It's having a bit of a day. But yeah, they also do alternate builds and some Steam Workshop stuff, so definitely give them a look. So today's stream is going to be, and nobody's in here yet, so I can't tell if I'm being heard or seen, so I'll wait till somebody's in here. But today we're going to do some builds, or we're going to do some collection of pieces for Microfighter builds. And we're going to do the ones that I have figures for. So you can see I've got a tub of figures here because I was going to try to go through that and see if I can find a couple of them. One of them we're going to need is this person. I don't know who they are. Oh, and that camera died again. Cool. Is this person, and they're from the, like, it's the Young Yoda, or it's the Yoda Chronicles, or the Young Jedi Chronicles, or something. But they came with the Crimson Firehawk set. So that's one of the Microfighters we're building, so we need them. We're also building the ship that Hu Yang was on in, I think it was Rebels. It wasn't Rebels. Clone Wars? I think it was Clone Wars with young Ahsoka, and they go looking for, they have a little adventure where they go look for crystals on Ilum. So that ship, a TIE, as seen on the screen right here, a TIE Avenger, so we'll need a TIE pilot. The other one was, what was that called? Wasn't a Defender class. Maybe it was. Nope. That's something else. I had it open at one point. And if... Good morning, Johnny. How is racing going? Or training for racing? I wanted to do... Not credited. I was going to do the TIE Avenger, the Paladin class. That's what it was. So the Paladin class is the one with Hu Yang. It's my garbage Hu Yang here. Not any of those. I thought maybe of doing Ventress's ship because I could probably get a Ventress in there. An AT-AC I could probably do because I think I have a Scout Trooper. I was gonna do Echo's new ship, so Echo and Pirate Snub. Let's do that one too. Open Echo. Nope. Open. What the heck? It's just like opening the whatever. Echo's new ship. So I think I can get an Echo somewhere and get the parts for this. It's got some issues with collisions there, but we'll look through it. And then open Pirate Snub Fighter. There was a fifth one that I put out there and I forget what it is, which is what I was looking up. So what I was looking up when everybody came on. So let me see if I can get the thumbnail that I made and tell you what that fifth ship was. It was... Oh no, okay, Crimson Corsair. That's what it was. Did I not pull that one up? Or not Crimson Corsair, Firehawk, Crimson Firehawk. So these are the 5 ships I thought would be good to part out, get pieces for, and that I have figures for. There's a lot of designs in there, but a lot of them are kit bashed. Music's really loud. Let me know if the music's too loud on y'all's end too. So I've got this guy. I've got Hu Yang. I've got whatever this person's name is. I thought it was Rowan something, but I think that's the Freemaker Adventures. A Pirate Snub Fighter. I thought I had a pirate from Shin Hati's. There was an actual Pirate Snub Fighter. So there's a lot of the Star Wars stuff I put in here, so I may have to dig through the figures and find out. But all my Bad Batch people are in here. So here's Tech. So I'm hoping that I can find... My minifigure storage is just not great because I kind of don't care about minifigures all that much unless I need them for Microfighters. So had to switch laundry. I need to do that too. So I'm going to keep her out because we were working on, and I say her, I'm going to keep Shin out because we were recently working on her ship. I have a Plo Koon. I have a ship for, not Plo Koon, Pong Krell. I need to get another brown hand somewhere, but I have a Pong Krell. He does have a ship. I need to put him in a bag so I can keep him out. Got a million Ahsokas. There's a Wrecker. There's a Vader. A bunch of Batmans. This lady's from the Queer Eye set. Clone Troopers. This is one of the Knights of Ren. So this is part of the process, is making sure that I have, I think this is Echo. I only say that because, yeah, so that's Echo. Oh, dang it. It's doing its thing again. I'm gonna switch it back to another USB. I think all my USB ports are full, and I think it's acting weird, so I'm gonna, yeah, I may take one of these out because I think they're all full. So anyway, Pong Krell, I need a brown hand for him. Yeah, so this is Echo. I need him for one of the ships we're doing. Without my overhead lights on, there we go. So that's his little head. I He's got the one silver hand instead of this, which I really wish they would have done a custom. I know my camera has to have things directly connected, and it has to be USB 3. The device USB 3. I've dug through the bus system for all this USB stuff, and I don't find any conflicts, and it's kind of frustrating. I'll keep working on it though. And again, this was fine for like there's like months of this, and then suddenly it's back into like, nope, not gonna work now. It's like, all right. Anyway, here's one that we're gonna do. So I don't need tech. These are 3 that we're actively doing today, and I don't think I have. I need a pirate, and I need a TIE pilot. So I know that one of the, that's good. That's a pirate. We'll just use him. This is a Nikto pirate. I think he actually has a name. So we'll use him. And now I just need a TIE pilot, which I may have to go a little deeper into the minifig thing for, because I don't think there was a recent set that I had that had a TIE pilot on it. But I may be wrong on that. It's Hunter. What I want to do is get a new, I'm kind of hoping they do something with Ventress and the new show coming up, the Tales of the Jedi, or Tales of whatever it is. Because, yeah, I don't see another TIE pilot in here. So let me go see if I can find one. In the meantime, let's part out. Luffy, hello, how are you? Let's part out the Paladin class. Ooh, I'm not going to have a lot of these at all. We're going to get rid of this. Now we'll just keep them on there. So the way I usually do this is I will upload this to Bricklink, and then part it out based on what the wanted list looks like. So let's do that. I was going to say, you can look at the mod here. Another way to do it is you can look at the model info, and you can sort by quantity, and you can just start going down the list of parts. Have. But the reason I do it on Bricklink is because I can mark off what I have and what I don't, and then create another list of those, right? Oh, that's not my login ID. How are you doing, Luffy? Good, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming by. Johnny, are you doing racing stuff? I thought there was racing training today. So I'm gonna delete him and do an upload. Paladin class, create new. Try not to take these pluses out. And then just do proceed to verifying items. Oh, Friday. Test and tune at Mid-Ohio, where Indy was used to race. Was very, very cool. Nice. All right, so then this gives me an opportunity to go down the list and see if anything doesn't look right. Wedge plate without stud notches, 4859. Okay, so that means that somewhere in here I have a, oh, and I went through like instructions for this. Interesting. I was very forthcoming about how this all went together, maybe. No, it doesn't look like it. I think this was inherited from another build of some kind. I'm going to expand all of it, and there's a modified brick in here that doesn't work for that color. So interesting. Okay, so that just needs to be black. Okay. Any other plates? That's a 1x2. Again, with these 1x2s, they're going to cause problems. So get rid of that 1x2 and put this in here. And I think I said that was dark gray. Like 1x1 round. Does it not come in this color? Luminous. Oh, luminous orange. Yeah, that was a thing for a render. So these just need to be trans orange. All right. Any other conflicts? That one, a wedge plate, not in that color. Why did I do that? If it was not available. That seems very short-sighted of me. Is that the only other one? Slope, not in that color. Wow. Technic brick, not in that color. Huh. All right, well, let's... I'm going to... Because I don't think this is done... It feels like some of the instructions are right. But I've got a lot left down here. So I don't think it's... I'm just going to put everything down in this step and get rid of all the other steps. And I'll tell you why. It's so I can see every single piece at once. And I'll go back later and clear out all these steps. Some expensive figs out there? Yeah, Ponkrell is not cheap for some reason. I think mostly because of that piece. This you can get away with just doing a Jedi, any Jedi. It's just a print. But this is a custom piece. It's almost the same as a Wookiee, because it's the same sort of thing that covers, but a Wookiee would cover down to the pants like that and be a Wookiee, right? And again, I need to find a brown hand somewhere to finish it, but yeah, so there you go. And then whatever matching lightsabers. His ship, it's going to be... I don't even know. His ship is really weird. So technically, he sits in here. This is a DH Omni support vessel. I'm going to show you what it looks like in... So it's a CIS ship, and I don't know where you see it. Like, I don't know if it was in any games or if it was in the movies. It may have been in the Clone Wars briefly. But it's like the GR-75. It's just a big support ship. It's just got stuff in it. It's not a battleship. It's not a carrier. It's not a frigate. It's just a support ship. So it just brings cargo and materials, right? But the reason I put Ponkrell in this is because I think the only time you see it in the show is the same time as you see like the Umbaran campaign or something. I forget why I made the two associations. Maybe part of the fleet was used. The funny thing is, it's a CIS ship and he's a Jedi. That should be an indication of what, you know, like him turning against the clones, so. Okay, it's been a while since I've seen it. Since I watched the Clone Wars, I should go back and watch. So yeah, we're cleaning up this. This is a little disheartening that I left so many things in here that are not the right colors. So plate 1x2, that's fine. I'm going to do a replace and do 1x2 plates. So you won't bring up a 1x2 plate. So now I have to kind of go in there and find it. I thought I did this one already. One by two plates, dark gray. Technic brick. These don't come in that color, so what color do they come in? I think what I did was highlight. I think I had the okay, that makes sense. I had the Defender class. I'll show you. The Defender class Corvette that had the same type of build, and I just colored everything dark tan and called it a day. This does have instructions. That's why I did that. Okay, that makes more sense. I don't feel so bad about it now. I'm like, man, why is everything not like the right color? Okay, so color replacements, which mean this wanted list is no good. I'm not gonna worry about the wanted list. Technic brick and Technic brick. These are both gonna be dark tan or dark gray. It won't matter because it's inside. Slope inverted. These are going to have to be something different. Let's just do dark gray again. Hi, Missy. How are you? They don't come in dark gray? These don't come in dark bluish gray. Is there a different kind? Oh, okay. There is a different kind. This one's newer. This one's newer. No, this one's newer. And it doesn't come in dark gray. Does that one come in dark gray? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to replace that with this one. I'm sorry I'm going to miss our monthly meeting. It's the same day as a Austin FC game, and I've missed like 3 Austin FC games lately, so I'd really like to go to that. And it's an afternoon game. It's like at 1 o'clock. So I couldn't even do both. Like if it was an evening game, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to do my meeting, then go right to the game. But it's an afternoon game. The one time Apple TV's like, yeah, we're going to do an afternoon game. I'm like, God dang it. Let's do this as, what is this piece? Wedge plate. Plate, wedge. The 2012 Knights of the Republic, or wait, Star Wars, the Old Republic sets. Were great. Sadly, I don't have any. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like that Defender Corvette that I had. There's also like that light attack, striker class attack starfighter. It's got a weird name, but it's also not what it was in Old Republic. It was called like oh, now I can't remember, but the name they gave it in Lego version was like because they needed to put a figure with it. You get a Bastille Shan figure with it. They called it whatever her modification of that ship was, instead of like the generalized version of the ship, which is fine. So this is what piece here? Without notches, and this is with notches. Can I get a dark tan with notches? No. Which one is newer? I think this one is newer. I'm going to do this, and we're just going to give it dark gray. Okay. Any other conflicting colors? Any parts that don't work? No? Good. So now I'm going to go back to my parts list and say, forget about it. I'm going to say nope, and hopefully it just went away. Yeah, I made a big stink about, I didn't make a big stink about it, but somebody emailed our group, a member of our lug, and said, hey, Easter's the next day. Do we want to push the meeting back? And I'm like, but Easter's the next day, right? So I put it to the group, and I went and in Discord and in email, and I said, Easter is the following day. Does anybody want to move the meeting? And I heard from 3 people who were like, one said, I'll go to either, whatever is fine. One person said, I can't make it on the 26th, so I will be there on the 19th. And one person said something like, one person said, I'll be out of town with family, right? So one person actually couldn't make it. So out of the 40, 50 people who usually go to our meetings, one person was like, I can't make it. And then after all that, I'm like, I can't make it either. But when I said, should we push it to the 26th, more people said I can't do that. So I was like, okay, well, we'll keep it as is. I just won't be there. So I'm going to give all the loot and stuff to Lasso, and he'll handle everything. I just want to make sure that everybody knows events coming up, please volunteer for stuff, all that kind of thing. I get a little down when like I put these things out like, hey, who wants to do Maker Faire? And it's crickets. So now that this is all cleaned up, now let's do the upload. And this should be a clean verification. Okay, good. This one I'm not going to have a lot of pieces for, but we'll see what I've got. So now what I'll do is I will sort by wanted quantity. This should be, okay, so I don't know why it's not doing it. So now if I do down, it should change it. All right, so this is now going to be me doing a lot of back and forth to get these pieces. But what I'll do instead, so this one's done, is now we'll go through. This one's good, so let's save this guy. TIE Avenger. I need a TIE pilot, but let's go through this guy and see if he's got any problems. And I think I did the same thing. 1x2 plate, man. I know this was a good model. Like I know this was made prior to whatever the 1x2, the great 1x2 plate shakeup. So that looks good. We don't need him because that was just for the render. We'll upload this guy. Yeah. Oh my God. The Cloud City Boba Fett. Modified 1x2 wedge left light bluish gray 5091. So I get worried when I don't see pictures here. 5091, 5092. Oh, you know what? If they are within a group, they may not show up. Yeah, these don't come in gray. Dang it. Why did I think that was okay, man? It's a cool piece. I don't know why I thought that was cool. Maybe I thought, well, by the time this gets made, they'll have that piece in that color. So now I just have to replace it. I just have to replace it with one of these. And again, it screws up the wanted list. But I'll show you what I usually do to fix that. All right, so this, lock that over here, double click on that, get rid of these. And by this time, by the time I actually get around to ordering it, maybe those pieces will be in that color. I'm really shocked that those pieces aren't in that color. So I'm going to say add to want list, and I'll show you how to fix the parts that were bad. So this is good, and we'll lock this back up. All right, so now that should be good. And if we scroll down, I don't see any other. Usually a good indication of like your parts being available is it's got a broken image picture placeholder like that. I'm really shocked these pieces don't have light gray yet. That's so crazy. I could do a sand blue and kind of like cheat a little bit because I bet it would look all right. I was going to look up something. Boba Fett minifigure. There are 29 minifigures of Boba Fett. So Cloud City Boba Fett, painted legs and arms. This is the one you're talking about. Was it the first minifig with leg printing? Really? And he has no face printing. It's just a black head under there. There was another Boba Fett that was a pretty expensive one, I thought. Sort. Highest price. I find it funny that the white Boba Fett is less expensive. I think I have this one. Because this one came with the first one of these two. With the first Slave 1. Or maybe that one. And then there was one, oh, and then I had a Jango Fett that was that I didn't realize was Jango Fett. I think I had this Jango Fett. But one of them, there was one that had a, like the balaclava head. Never Too Old, hello. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Yeah, and by the time Missy, by the time everything had been settled, and you guys can't see this screen. You can't see what I'm doing. I've been doing all this work. All right, so the upload from this, you guys didn't even see what I was working on over here. I'm missing, like, I want these tiles to be available in those 1x2 tiles that have like cut with a 45-degree angle. They don't have them in gray yet, but I wanted them to be right here, but they don't have it. So when I uploaded it, it showed as these broken things, right? Since it's right and left, it's got a broken one for each. So I'm just going to take those and I'm going to delete them. Sad face. Did it delete? Nope. It popped up a window. Yes, delete. Now, a 1x2 tile, I need to add 2 more to this. So I need 8 total. So I'll do that and save. So now this should be sorted by what I want and the order I want them, right? So now I've got this new list. So I could go through and get all the parts for this, and I'm going to go through a cursory glance and see if I've got, like, I know I've probably got all of these. This may be a question mark if I have 4 of them because these brackets tend to be used a lot. I definitely have most of this. This one may be questionable. Yes, all this questionable. Questionable in that color. I don't have these, so I'll have to order these in that color. One of these sharp wedge pieces. And I may need one more of these because I tend to use a lot of those inverted dish with the print on them. And I I've got like 3 or 4 Microfighter TIE fighters already. So I'll probably need another one of those. All right. So that list is done. And this guy is done. So let's save him. So we got that guy. That guy. Let's do Echo's new ship next, since I actually have a figure of Echo. And let's get rid of the figure, so I don't need him to be part of the upload. And let's figure out why there's a conflict on these. This is interesting. Okay, this piece doesn't look like it belongs anywhere. Did I put it here? Yeah, I think this got rotated funny or something. I don't know why I thought that needed to be there like that. Weird. I don't want that there at all. I think it needs to be like that. Something happened. I feel like something happened in an update. And that's a conflict. Although I don't know why. It's slightly above. So instead of those, let's do a wedge plate. How you doing, Never Too Old? What do you got going on Lego-wise today, or otherwise fun stuff? $9,000 for Cloud City sealed. That is insane. See if I have a better tile, some fun tile that I can use. I could use a new tile. What colors can those be in? Dark tan? Hey, look at that. I'm going to use a new piece. This new giant tongue depressor tile. That'll look great. What a perfect fit. I like it. Okay, so cursory glance at all this, and then go through the list over here on the right side. The chat's kind of covering it, I'm sorry. But I'm going to expand everything, and we're going to look for pieces that might cause a problem. So any exclamation points, you can kind of see. Let's see if I can move the chat a little bit. You can see on the build, or this is the step list panel. So these 1x2 plates are going to be, every time it's a new update, these 1x2 plates just break the whole system. And I don't understand what's going on. Does anybody else have a problem with that? Because if I put a new plate in there, it's fine. And again, I don't really have instructions for this. I think this was modded from a different ship, the Crimson Corsair ship, and I think that's why it has some issues. Okay, fair enough. This is which? That one? Okay. So then we need to get a new plate in here, color it that color. You can see there's no conflict, but that plate's fine. Click on that plate, conflict. It's the exact same piece, but there's something in the software that says it's wrong. So it's kind of a head scratcher. And I think I reported it, and someone's like, you've got a corrupted INI file, or you got a corrupted config file or something. And they're like, it's all those, if you have anything that's a modification. I'm like, but I don't. Like, I haven't modified anything. It's an out-of-the-box installation. I haven't monkeyed with any of the configuration files. These are all going to be bad 1x2s. So let's see, anything else? Nope, looks clean. Good. Upload. Let's see if it's actually got a name. Echoes ship Bad Batch. It's not the Marauder. Murado? Oh, let's see. New era, becoming a fugitive. Clone Rebellion, maybe that was it. No. He went off on his own. I'm just trying to see. Yeah. And here's where I got my main model. It was the Maison Martinet. The Remora? Okay. Yeah, cool. All right, so this is called the Remora. Nice. So now I can save this as the Remora. And in my want list, this will be called the Remora. Nice. Verify items, and we're going to go through and make sure there's no broken image files in here indicating it doesn't exist in that color. It does not. Add to want it list. We're good. So before I forget, I'm going to we'll save this. Then I'm going to close it and then go in here and call it the Remora. Echo's new ship, and then we'll rename it the Remora. That way I am not confused. All right, so this one is the Crimson Firehawk. I don't remember the character's name. Crimson Firehawk, but it's from like that young Jedi Obi-Wan Yoda show, Young Jedi Adventures. Nash Durango. So Nash Durango is the pilot, and they are a mechanic, pilot person. This is definitely a kids show, a kids Star Wars show. It's not a Lego show, but they made it out of Lego. And this is the actual ship, right? It's got a little turret up here. It's very kind of it. If you look at this and you look at another ship called the Punishing One, it has some similarities, and I'm wondering if it's the same. This is kind of the crunchy spaceship stuff that I get into, that it kind of feels like it might be the same shipyard, you know? If you look at these two ships, it's the same sort of like disc shape with like a thruster attached to it. Like you could slide the cockpit over a little bit and basically come up with the same type of ship. So I don't know if it's going to be like, if this is going to say the Jumpmaster 5000. This just says it was in this show. Like, you're not going to get super, for all the ship porn nerds out there like me, you're not going to get too much of a, oh, it's a, look at that. It's a Shellentine class shuttle. Interesting. Maybe. Medson Spaceworks. So this is the kind of thing that I get into. Medson Spaceworks. I don't know what that means, but anyway. A little bit nerdier than I think everybody is here for. So this is Nash Durango. So I'm going to get rid of Nash. And we're going to go through the parts. Make sure there's nothing that's a problem. 1x2 plate. And I know I've done this recently. This was done just a couple months ago. So something is really broke. Every time there's an update with Studio, I get a broken bunch of 1x2 plates. that's not where that went. Oh, that's whatever that is, that's broken. How did this all go together? There's no way she can sit in there like that. Was she actually sitting in there? Oh, you know why? She has short legs. This character has short bending legs. You can see, but they're bending legs. They're not the short hobbit sitting legs. They actually do bend, which means she only needs one row of studs to sit on. So to close up the gap behind her, I put this wedge plate, or this rail plate. That's what that was. I was like, how is that even a thing? But I also forgot to put something under here to hold this section up. So this just needs 2 plates. And it doesn't matter what color plates these are. The medium lavender. I don't know why medium lavender is always the cheapest for like most plates. It's the strangest thing. Okay. All right, that all looks okay. So we're gonna save that. We're gonna upload. Crimson Firehawk. Proceed. Now again, I'm doing all this because I want to get a good amount of lists to then go and look for pieces. And every model that I do, I'm gonna get like a Ziploc bag and just put them all in there. And then whatever I need to order, I'll get the parts in and I'll know, hey, they're all right here. I can just start building. Some of these I might have enough parts. Like I'm looking through this and I think I have all of these to be able to build. Some of these, maybe not that one. Definitely not this one. Might be able to build most of this, so we'll see. So I'll say add to one of this. The Hapen ships look really weird too. Yeah, oh, the Hapen, there's the Hapen Starfighter, a Hapen Battle Dragon. There's a handful. I think I've tackled a couple as Microfighters. Let's see. Nope. H. Yeah, Hapen Battle Dragon. So this is one of them. I wasn't able to do... The Hapen Battle Dragons are pretty cool. Hapen Battle. They have a very unique way of firing, because each of these... So I wanted to include all these turrets around it and everything, but each one of these is a turbo laser, but instead of having... Oh, thank you. But instead of having... like a limited firing arc or a rotating turret, these rotate around this disc. So they're not on a fixed thing, they rotate around. And so it allows them to cool off. So it can just be a constant rate of fire, right? Whereas like a Star Destroyer, you have to get a certain angle. And once that gun fires, you have to wait for it to cool down. Or it can fire a certain amount of times and have to wait to cool down. By the time this, I point to the screen, by the time this laser's done cooling down, it's ready to fire again. Rotates all the way around. So you could have this whole front of the ship be a continuous fire, right? That's the idea behind these. This was really hard to do in miniature. I think I got it. It's quite a few pieces, but I think I got it okay. Again, a kit bashed figure. I don't even remember who this is supposed to be. This was done a while ago. There may be a person in here that was mentioned. She's probably like one of the queens or something. I don't know. There's also a Hapen. I think I did one more. I think I did this one. I did a Mytil Starfighter. So this is a yeah, so I did that one too. That one was pretty fun. It felt a lot like doing the Chiss Clawcraft with the kind of the scalloped wings. And this one's actually a lot fewer pieces. So I think this would make a good one. This again, the pilot has to be a kit bash. So I just took an A-wing pilot and colored him dark red and, called it a day. Because there's very little imagery of it outside of the comic books and you can't really replicate that. So anyway, yeah, done a couple of these. They're fun. There was a time I was getting really obscure with these, but the more obscure you get with the ship, the harder it is to do a figure for it. So it just kind of lives as a design because you don't have a way to build it without having a figure in it. Unless there's a growing number of people who have started to do MIDI scale ships. That way you don't have to worry about minifigures. That's the way to go, man. Because it's still a pretty good size, it's yay big. So that may be a thing I start doing next. All right, so that's done. That's done. I'll leave the browser open. And the last one, so we got that one, is the Snub Fighter. Did I already do this one? I feel like I did. All right, now let's do step view. So I turn on the step view glasses. That means everything I do here is a step. And I think this one actually has instructions. And just based off these instructions, I might have most of these pieces. Oh, ski poles. Why did I do that to myself? Ski poles make great lasers, but they're not cheap. Oh, 14 bucks or 14 cents. That's not too bad. I just don't have any. All right, so there's a lot of groups here. I don't want to break them all up just to see, but I can already tell you one of these is going to have a 1x2 plate that needs to be replaced. I think I saw another one back here. Yep, there's another one there. This also doesn't look like it's sitting very well. It's weird. Okay, so that's fixed. Some of these are going to be in groups, and to bust open these groups to see if there's anything wrong in those. Nope. That looks good, which means this is probably good. Okay, that's good. How many other groups do we got? Okay, no conflicts there. Group. Now this is just that. I think these are fine. Okay, no problems. I think this is good to go. So let's upload this. I'm gonna save it because I replaced a couple of the plates. So we'll upload that one. This is the Pirate Snub Fighter. I'm sure it has a designation. Let's maybe look it up. Pirate Snub Fighter. It's gonna bring up the Lego ship. Yeah, this just says was a type used, blah, 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 including Vane, Mandalorian, Jar Jar, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's fine. It doesn't have more than that. It doesn't have like any shipyard information or designer information or whatever. Okay, so Pirate Snub Fighter. Proceed to items. Proceed to verify. Check for anything here. Add to wanted list. Cool. So now I have all the wanted lists that I want for the next handful of sets. So what I'll usually do is, like when I was doing this before, I would call it a Microfighter, so I knew. And then I would have like, I would do a Microfighter dash something, and those are what I had. And then I would make a new list that says this thing, like this says Driscoll, and then Driscoll need. These are the parts I need to do it. You can see all the Microfighter lists I have here. It's pretty ridiculous. That reminds me, I need to change the names of all these. So this is going to be Microfighter. So I remember that these are Microfighters. I'm so glad I found out that that had an actual name. So the next thing to do is go through each of these and see what parts I have. Now this may be this section, again, I tried to turn the camera around so I could like kind of still be in frame, so I wasn't just walking back and forth, but there wasn't a really good way to do that and keep the keyboard in place and everything. So we're just gonna have to do what we can. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go see if I can find a TIE Fighter pilot really quick. And we'll start with the TIE Avenger because I think I have the most of these pieces. So wanted quantity, I want to start with all these first. So this will be the part of the stream where I'm going back and forth. So, and I apologize, I just don't know how else to do that. So let's do TIE Avenger. Now again, I'm going to do the TIE Avenger because this is going to be the ship that's going to be in Andor. This is what Andor steals and flies. I'm guessing it is a prototype ship. The Avenger is what Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, a TIE Advanced, is what basically became the TIE Avenger. If I remember correctly. It's got the same back end here, but it also uses kind of TIE interceptor wings. So yeah, Vader's wings were closed up on the sides. So this is kind of like a mash between, this is like the mass produced version of it. So I'm sure there's going to be a story in Andor where he steals a prototype, and it'd be kind of like the Rebels scene where Ezra and can never remember his name, big purple dude, steal a TIE Advanced prototype, and then I think later they steal a TIE Defender because it's Thrawn's prototype is the TIE Defender. It's not Zeph, is it? It's gonna bother me. Zeb. Zeb Aurelius. That's right. Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna try to do a handful of these each time. So we're not gonna use these guys. We're not using these guys. Pongkrell can go back in here. And I need a TIE fighter pilot. I'm keeping her out because we were just working on her microfighter. So I'm gonna keep her out as somebody who will have a microfighter maybe soon. And these guys will go back here. Okay, so I will be right back. We're gonna do 4 1x6 plates and 4 2x4 plates. If you can help yourself, you can do work with, these are like potted plant things, right? You get plants in these. You can also buy them in bulk somewhere. I got these from somebody in our lug. But these are great for like temporary storage of stuff. So I will put the minifig so I know which one this is, and then all the parts in here. And then just I can put it off to the side. It'll stack with more parts in here like that, so I can have a stack of like working projects. So stuff like this is really nice to have. You don't have to have a ton of them, just maybe a handful. It keeps your piles a little separate. If you work in constantly shifting piles like I do, like there's piles all over the place. There's little piles of like, these are all the extra pieces that came from a set. Here's a bag of parts that I got from this that need to be put away. Just haven't been put away yet. So it's, you know, here's a bunch of extra pieces from Bricklink orders that I made that I haven't sorted yet. So, all right, 8 of these black clips and then 2 of each of these small guys. So these wedge plates, I'm going to bring over here to go through because I may have to dig a little bit. I may not. They may just be right up here. This is one of the categories where you can see this is getting pretty full. So at some point I'd like to break this up into like either color, so like blacks and grays, black, white, and grays, and then colors. But I think the black, white, and gray would be dominating. Or you could do it by size, and you could do up to like 1x4 or whatever 4 is. Get a 4, get a 2x4, or smaller, and then everything bigger than a 2x4 gets its own thing as well. So, but I've still got a little bit of room left. This is also these wedge pieces at this size. Because they're this size, I tend to go through them a lot with Microfighter, so I don't have them. But because they're small, they sift to the bottom, so you really have to like unearth everything. Plus, it's nice sound. Everybody can hear the sorting, the Gerstelling. Also, because of how Lego does things, if I find one, I'm almost guaranteed that there's going to be two. Lego does a lot of building, especially starships, which is what I buy. They do a lot of building in parallel. So if you find one piece, you'll find another. That's not always the case. Some of the smaller bits that go with like the playability bits that are like an island or a thing holding a treasure chest or a little bit of land or something like that. They have like one curved wedge piece, right? So if you get one, you're not always going to get a second. But the stuff I buy is generally vehicles, which means they're very symmetrical, which means they have one of each side. I get really frustrated when I can't find the right or left side of the piece that I just found. Need two of those. Especially if I feel I have to order. Hey, Greg, how's it going? If I have to order, oh, you know what? Nope. Oh, here's the other thing. Dang it, I always forget to do this. Yeah. I forget I need to see every piece or else it's going to sort it weird. So, I'm doing well, thank you. I'm having a pretty good day. You can't complain about days spent doing Lego stuff. And honestly, as much as I like buying and sorting and building and designing, sometimes the gathering of pieces, like what I'm doing here, I was gonna do, can I just do, I want to do a screen capture, not a window capture. Let's do that way. And then if I switch back to that, okay, cool. That's much better. I like that. Okay. The May 4th release, meaning the UCS Jango Fett slave one. I'm okay with it. I won't get it probably, but the sad thing is I like UCS sets, but I can't get every one of them. It's like one a year and each one's $600 to $800. It's a lot. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 UCS sets already. 6. And I'm out of room for big sets like that. And I want to display them, but I just don't have the room for them. All right, so I got those. So here's what I need to do as well, is I also need to mark these down. So I don't, you want to say I have 4. And I have 4. And I have 8. And I have, might as well get the other wedge pieces while I'm here. And I have each of these. Nope. I have 2. All right, save those changes. Yeah, I didn't get either of the slave ones. So. The U-Wing is a weird animal for me because there is a U-Wing. Okay, so I know I'm going to need these pieces. I don't have any of those. So for my want is going to be really low. What this does when you mark the want have is that when you go to hit buy all, it just buys what you want. And takes away what you have. So it'll only show up if you got a difference between the two. The thing about the U-Wing is that at one point there was, Lego didn't do a UCS U-Wing. They did an X-Wing. They've done 2 X-Wings. an A wing, a B wing, 2 Y wings. As a fan of the series Alphabet Squadron, I thought it would have been great if they also did a U wing, but they never did. So there was a designer, an Italian designer, that either on his own, I forget, or through Brick Vault, I think it was Brick Vault, released his own model that was a UCS U-wing with like, you know, I think they helped him with like set up the instructions and publication of like printed instructions, a nice box artwork. They have 3 X-wing UCSs. This is a 3. So I really wanted that, but they did a limited run. I think it was like 300 or something like that. Like, it was not a lot. And once it was gone, it was gone. The guy who designed it was like, yep, I'm not doing anymore. I'm not, you know, and the instructions weren't made public, and you can't get it online anywhere, which I think is kind of garbage. I mean, I understand paying a premium for the instruction booklets and everything like that, but once you've made your money on the run, why not let people have like the parts list at least? I don't know. It just seems kind of a selfish move. Now I've got 2 lefts here. I'm assuming I'm going to have 2 rights. We'll see. This is a premium size piece for Microfighters, and I think I burned through. Oh, the red 5. I forgot about the special red 5 one. Yeah, and I have the original UCS one, so I didn't get the one from a while back. Like last year or whatever it was. This is the part that is really good for the brain. This is the part where you can kind of shut your brain off. Just look for pieces, mark them off a list. It's not really heavy thinking. Django and Kylo helmet. Oh yeah, I did see those. I don't have a desire for either of those really. The Kylo helmet actually, like, I know there's sequel hate. And it's just A New Hope reskinned. But I kind of liked Kylo's outfit. I thought it was cool, and I liked his helmet. I know it was basically Darth Vader light, but at the same time, I'm like, no, I thought it was cool. Yeah, and the brick build Star Wars logo, I don't know. It's one thing if you brick built the Love sculpture from New York or whatever, because that's like a real world thing. But I mean, are we going to get a brick built Apple logo or brick built FedEx logo? Like, could you not make your own Star Wars logo? It doesn't seem like it's that hard. I don't know. All right, so next I need 8 1x2 tiles and 8 modified. Telling you, this makes for good TV. What I usually do is have these lists on my phone, and I'm just standing over in front of all my parts, just kind of like doing this, but showing the collecting process. So I have all these. If you missed it earlier, I was talking about, like, right at the top of the hour. Where did I put it? Did I put it away? I was probably, I don't think anyone was on when I was showing this, but if you are in the market for, this is a powered up hub. It's got 4 ports. It's Bluetooth capable. It also has a battery bank for 6 batteries. Now, I didn't test how long, voice is going out. I didn't test how long the batteries lasted. But, and I also looked up, this is really dumb. I also looked up power adapters for powered up. Lego sells something they call an adapter, and all it is a power brick. It's basically like a transformer in a brick. No cabling, no way to attach it to anything. They're basically selling you a brick, which is really frustrating. I don't know why Lego refuses to want to power everything up by battery, but then does not offer a way for you to do it by plugging in. They know the AFOL community and the convention community exist where they don't want to have to spend dozens or sometimes hundreds of dollars on batteries, right? So I got this from PV Productions out of the Netherlands, which is basically just a 3D printed thing with some leads on it and a USB cable. And this goes in where your leads are. Like that, snaps into place. You plug that in, then you can put that into a brick. And this comes out of this little notch in the side here. They're smart enough to put a notch in the side here. They know that this was going to happen, but they don't provide that part. I think that's really weird, right? So now all I have to do, because I have Mills plating underneath the windmill lighthouse thing, this just runs straight through the building underneath the Mills plating, right? And then comes out one of the sides. And I need a USB extender to plug it in wherever the power is going to be. So yeah, this works really well. This is $25 and it comes from the Netherlands. So you got to ship with $12 shipping. So I mean, the thing is about 40 bucks, but if you don't have to buy batteries ever, that at some point it pays for itself. Maybe not right away. But at some point, if you're doing a lot of motorized stuff, you don't have to buy batteries for it. So this is going to work out really well for the convention. And beyond. Like, this will work for a while. And I'm really happy about it. It'll help me keep making motorized stuff if I don't have to keep buying batteries for stuff. The thing that upsets me is the powered up functionality on the phone where you have to use an iPhone that's constantly turned on. Powered up doesn't have just like an on switch, right? Whereas Power Functions did. You didn't have a receiver like this. It was just a battery pack. And then you'd have a motor and then you just turn the switch on and off. It was very analog. This is trying too hard to be digital, but doesn't have the right functionality. So, like I said, these are the people I got it from. PV Productions. Johnny, if you're interested, it's out of the Netherlands. If that QR code, if you can scan that, I'll leave that up for a second. But yeah, it was pretty good. It took about 2 weeks to get here. There was no like fast shipping or anything, but I'm excited about that. So. And yeah, it works like I said, now I have to figure out just the phone. I have to keep it on constantly. So it has to be on for 10 hours for 4 days, right? And I haven't tested it with like a battery pack yet. I have 2 battery, like Anchor battery packs that I could plug in the phone. But I don't know how long it will take to drain that. I haven't done a test on that. So I may need another long USB connection for my phone too. Just to keep it on, because it needs to be, as soon as the screen locks, the motors will stop. It's the dumbest thing. So, all right, back to this. Now I need 6 gray 2x3s and 4 1x4s. I'm going to bring this over because this might take a little bit. 2x3s are not uncommon, but with the amount of, this is a giant amount of, these are all my 2x2, 2x3, 2x4 plates. So I want to just be able to be over here and talk and answer questions and whatnot. So I was trying to think of the next like big project I want to work on. And I have a lot of large projects that have small output. And like, I don't know why that got away from me. The Horizon Advent calendar. That's going to be a fun project, but it has a lot of moving parts, and each little bit is very small. The little builds are very small. Try to get some stickers printed for it, some design stickers for some of the other characters. And, oh, I guess that wasn't that hard. I could have done that. Now I have to make sure these are all dark blue gray and not dark gray, which is kind of hard in this light. I think that's... I'll look for another one because I think that one was dark gray. But again, it's hard to tell. Light gray and light blue gray are easier to tell apart. I don't think that's right. I think they're fine. All right. And I can't really think of another one that I want to start. Like nothing is jumping out at me. I'm still burned by that really good Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds Frostclaw that I was working on. Accidentally saw a Lego model. Somebody else had done a mock of it, and it's really good. And it really kind of made me not want to do any of that anymore, right? Anytime I see, and there's going to be, you're always going to have people who are better builders than you, or artists than you, or singers than you, or something like that. But it really takes the wind out. It took the wind, I won't say for everybody. It took the wind out of my sails, seeing it, something I was actively working on, I was very excited about, and I thought looked great, to see something else and go, it's simpler, it looks awesome, it looks more like the thing, and it looks less complicated. All the work that I'd put into trying to make it look right and look like the thing, and I look at this thing and I'm like, the economy of the part usage, like all this stuff, I'm just like, oh, it's so good. Like I almost just want to build theirs and be done with it. All right, so I got these. I've got 6 of these. And I got, so far I'm down here. What's next? I got 4 of those. All right, now I need 4 up brackets. Oh, and I might as well get these while I'm here. 3 of these. Should check the rest for plates. Make sure these are all, that's old. That's good. 3 plates. Any more plates that I need? 2 2x2s. So the advent calendar is still a project that I kind of want to do. I think it'll be fun, but it's a lot of, at this point, like most of the stuff is designed. I just need to do the figures and box art and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I might approach them and say, hey, I'm also building this. Would you mind shooting me your instructions or your IO file or something, and I'll give you mine, and we can trade and get ideas from each other, that kind of thing. I don't think that would be out of line, really. I don't think. If somebody came to me with that request, I'd be like, yeah, man, that sounds great. Why don't we do that? All right, 4 up brackets, 3 2 cheese slopes, all gray. 4 brackets, 3 cheese slopes. I suppose the next really, really big thing would be Q2, but that is pretty far off because I'm so very slow at getting anything designed. I was thinking about it last night, how little I've done in a year. I basically like tinkered with the south end for almost a year. And it's really starting to kind of get on my nerves that I just can't conceptualize moving it any faster. Just designing it, I could have probably have just designed it all by now and just been stacks of, you know, digital bricks on top of each other that wouldn't have worked in real life. But I wanted to make sure in part of the design process that it could be built and it wasn't just a digital display, digital art. This is an active working model, but there's going to be so many times where I'm going to need to take it apart and put it together in real life. And if I need thousands of pieces for that, that's going to be really hard. But that's the next big project, right? All right, 3 gray grills, 2 red bulbs. Two cheese slopes, 2 gray cheese slopes, 2 inverted slopes. I'm actually really shocked that I had these 2 pieces. I think they're light gray. I don't think they're light blue gray, but I'm okay with that. I have these 2. I can also, for those of us who are not athletically inclined anymore or who are aging, I have 4. I could have brought that thing back out for these 2. All right, I'll bring that tray back out. and I'll grab 2 open studs and 2 jumpers. I do notice that when I'm doing this back and forth, when I'm building MOCs and I'm walking back and forth a lot to get parts, after about a half hour, I'm like, I'm sweating. Like, this is ridiculous. All I'm doing is standing and going back and forth. But I think it's partly too that I'm excited, because building kind of gets me revved up a little bit. Like, I get excited when pieces put together real well and everything's kind of like right within reach, and it's just a good kind of in the zone feeling. But I think my brain's using a lot of sugar while I'm doing it, so I get winded like real quick. 2 open studs, 2 jumpers, and bring our old friend back here. So yeah, for Q2, the next thing I need to do, Zisoo, hi, how are you? The next thing I need to do is I've got this figured out, right? I've got that. What I need to do next, because in the software, I have the whole other upper section as its own piece, but then it doesn't connect here, which means there's a big old gap here. So then I need to try to either figure out if I can just continue this up so it's one big piece, and then how to attach that, and how to attach that on another platform here. If it needs to be its own piece that gets put down and attached here, or if it attaches here and still works on this piece, because I want it to be like, this is one piece that can travel by itself. Just put it in a box, it goes like that. You've got 8 of these to put around the stadium, boom, right? Then it attaches to another piece just by like plates on the bottoms here. You don't need to attach it higher up or anything. That's the goal, is to try to keep it small and contained. And I think that's what's frustrating me so much, is trying to keep everything so small and so contained individually that I'm trying to build 40 or 50 different individual. It's like building, imagine trying to build 30 or 40 different modular buildings, like just regular Lego modular buildings. Build about 40 of those and have them all work together, and have some of them be structurally important, load bearing, have some of them stacked on top of each other, and have some of them not even there to be seen. They're just there for support. So that's kind of what I'm wrestling with. And I think it's just going to take a while. But it's also the type of thing I wish I had every day to work on it. I wish I had all day, every day to be able to just wake up in the morning, turn on the computer, knock it out for a couple hours, take a break, come back, knock it out for a couple hours. I think I probably could be done in about a month. So whenever anybody asks what's my dream job, I'm going to be like, designing Lego stuff, not really even building, but just being able to have that space and time to be able to do it. That'd be amazing. So much so that if somebody were to ever say, how long would it take for you to do this? It's like, how much are you willing to pay me? Because if you can make it so I can take a leave of absence from my work and get paid, plus do the Lego stuff, I would almost just say that's my design fee, is a month off of work. Yeah, I may need to order some of these parts. So this is going to be a good example of not finding all the parts. Got a lot of these, 3s, not a lot of 4s though. Not a lot of 4s in gray, because I think I use a lot of them. Underneath. Don't see any. There's one. There's one and I can't find it. Sorry, Pflugerville people saying that there's been a sounded like there was an explosion somewhere, and everyone's like, "Did everybody hear that explosion?" So Beth is texting me asking if I heard it. I'm like, I'm busy. I'm like head down in Lego with some music. I'm like, I didn't hear it. All right, so this is a good case of I have one, but after digging through this, it's obvious I don't have enough right off the bat, which means I'm either going to find exactly what I need and run out of these, or I don't have enough at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and order 2 of those. So I don't have any. I have 0. But now I have to remember to go through and not try to get those again. Did I get those other 2? Yes. So I got these. And I got these. All right. Did I get both of those? Yes. So, really? Was it? But I mean, we're nowhere near each other. I mean, we're 15 minutes away, or 20 minutes away. But you heard something near your house? Somebody from our lug heard it from their house, and they live over on Palmer. That's crazy. Well, time to start checking the news. And I saw that I needed some of these wedge cutout plates, so I just brought the bag over. We'll get the next one here in a second. Anything other than that? Oh, I could have got these 2 while I was at it. Dang it. Didn't I already get those? Or did I get them in black? Got those. Suppose I could look in here. Yeah, I thought I got... Yeah, I got those 2. Okay, shoot. 200 episodes on Tuesday. If y'all haven't, and I think everybody in here has, make sure to go to Johnny's place and subscribe. Johnny's Pad. Just need 2 of these. I see 1. Don't see 2. Oh, there's one. There's another one. Here's an idea of the sorting that I have going on. This bag is both of these pieces, but they're kind of similar pieces, right? You could almost put them together to make a neat shape. So have a piece. They work pretty well together. Ooh, giveaway. I was trying to think, like, I don't know how many episodes I've done. But at some point, I think I do want to do a giveaway. I just don't know what, and I don't know why, and I don't know when. All right, so I got those. I'm gonna need 2 of those brackets, 2 of those wedge plates, and 2 slopes, and 2 antics. Brackets, curves. Okay. I'm not Johnny G. Don't confuse us. Yeah, whoops. 2 slopes, 2 inverted slopes, 2 brackets, 2 curved 3x3 plates. 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, I got those 2 plates. Save changes. 2 dark gray 1x4s, 2 headlights, 2 trans red. Some of this build is still a holdover from the original TIE. It wasn't Inferno Squad, but it was like the only TIE fighter they really did. They didn't do an original TIE fighter Microfighter. They did a First Order TIE fighter. And they did a TIE Interceptor, and they did a TIE
striker and the big shuttle one that the Death Squad came out of. So they did 4, but they didn't do an advanced, a bomber, which I feel like should have been done. And then like whatever other variants that were kind of obvious that they didn't do. So, but the build, I keep using the original sort of like tie ball configuration for everything. Did I not do 1x6? I thought I did 1x6. All right, 1x6, and then 2 inverted. I have those 2, and then 2 inverted corners. Okay, so there's that. I'm doing black for now because I think I could probably build all of this once it's done, minus a couple cosmetic pieces. And then with these next 5 ships, what I'll probably do is go through and part them all out. And as we're kind of getting down to the last couple minutes. I did one of each of those, didn't I? No, I needed, okay. And I'm not gonna have time to build any of them, but what I'll end up doing is seeing, this will end up being like 3 parts that I need total, which is not worth a bricklink order. But a house collapsed about 3 miles from my house. Wow. Okay. But this will allow me to kind of put it together. But I'll still need 2, so I'm going to make sure I go through and say I have. No, I had both of those. And once I part out all 5 of these, then I can make 1 bricklink order and hope that I can get most of those pieces from 1 shop. It'll end up being 2 or 3 shops. But then I'll pad orders and I'll be like, all right, I'm only ordering 1 of these, but maybe I'll just get 5, right? 1 for the ship, and then I'll have 4 extra to sort into the stuff. Or if I'm only getting 1 piece from a shop, I'll look and see if they've got a minifig that I like, or a group of other parts that I know I need for something else, just so it makes sense that I order at least $5 worth of stuff if shipping's going to be $5 to $7. So I'll still need those. Did that. Okay, so 2 down-facing Technic plates. I'm gonna need to buy those, and I need to get those. So 2 of these, 2 plates, and then 1 of those clips. Let's do that. And this guy's gonna make another appearance. Light bluish gray. 2 of those. 2. I already have 2 of those. I don't have these. Although I think I might somewhere, but I don't know if I have black. I do. Voice is given out. So I'm glad it's almost noon. These are all left plates. Do I have the right ones to go with them? Yes. Lug bulk. Not supposed to talk about it, but there you go. That's crazy. I'm definitely gonna check out the news and see what happens. If people all the way over here heard it, that must have been huge. All right, so we got 2 each, right and left plate. That's cool because this was going to be kind of a defining feature of these wings. All right. So I have 2 of those. That was the one piece I was worried about. Cool. I don't know why they're living in a whole other box, but going through this guy again. And I got one of those. Save changes. Yeah, I'm not going to get through the rest of these before the end of the time. So, so this is the process. You all witness now the process of getting something from here to, I don't have a microfighter up here, to something that's not very big. Process of getting all the way through the design, all the way through the ordering process, so you get to something that big, right? About 2 hours. Building it will take 5 minutes. But you know, if you want all the pieces for it, if you've got all the parts and you just need to sort through it all, then that's what you have to do. That can go there to hold that together. So I'm going to sign off. I appreciate you guys being here today. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. And I'm going to check my calendar, see what Thursday brings. I will not be here Thursday. So this coming Thursday is TIFO rigging practice, which means we go to the stadium and stretch out a net and zip tie the cool banners to the big net and hoist it up and make sure it all works. So that starts at 6, so I will not be here for streaming Thursday. I don't know that I'll pick another night to do like Wednesday or Friday. I have time, so maybe I'll do a continuation of this on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll part out some more pieces, or design Q2 or something. So, but yeah, thanks everybody for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.